Hello students, I'm here with another video from the chapter of class 7th NCERT book of science, that is chapter number 16th, water a precious resource. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter so far. Okay, so we have studied about the concept, what is the meaning of the word resource. Then after that we saw that there are natural resources which are present in the nature and which are going to help us to satisfy our needs and wants. Okay, so if the I mean, the natural resources like soil, water, forest, animals, all these are said to be as the very basic components, a very basic important things which are present in the nature. And water is said to be as a precious resource because this helps us in living. Okay, this helps us in surviving. So no such other resources are there which are helpful in surviving. Okay, so this water and air, these are the two natural resources which are really very important for the survival of the organisms. Okay, without food we could live for some days, but without water we cannot live, children. So that is why it is considered to be as an important natural resource. Okay, then after that we saw that in this chapter we have seen that the water is also present in the form of different forms. So it is present in the form of solid, it is present in the form of liquids, it is present in the form of gases, and this is maintained on the earth's surface in 71%. Now this 71% is of earth's surface is covered with water, but still there is very less amount of water which is present for the drinking purpose. Okay, so for drinking it is only 0.003% of water which is present for us. It is present in the underground form, and underground water is really very important to be conserved. So we saw that underground water is present, and this underground, so there are certain terms which is related with underground water, that is the water table. Then the second word was the aquifer. Okay, so what is this water table? Water table means when we dig the earth, when we are moving inside the earth, then we could see that there are different layers, and these different layers of soil, the last layer is saturated with water. So this is said to be as the ground. The first layer, when we are reaching towards the so different soil layers, we could reach to the bedrock. Before that it is saturated with water. So this water which is present is said to be as groundwater, and the upper layer of this is said to be as water table, and below it whatever water is being present is said to be as aquifer. So whenever we are using the pumps and also it is being used, it is being put in this aquifer region. Okay, then what else we have seen? We have also studied about the rainfall pattern, the water pattern, or the availability of water in India. Okay, where we saw that there are different ways where rainfall is not equally present. That is why it is very necessary for us to conserve water. And there is again the depletion of groundwater is happening. So this depletion of groundwater has to be stopped because increasing population is there, increasing industrial places are there, then industries are being increased day by day, agricultural practices being increased day by day. As population is increasing, each and every person requires food to eat, house to live, and clothes to wear. So all these things require water for its production. Very simple. And on the basic for each and every basic requirement, the organism, the people, the human beings are dependent completely on which type of water. It is completely on the large scale we are dependent upon the groundwater. So this groundwater is really very precious for us and has to be conserved. Now, how this has to be conserved? So we have studied one practice regarding this. So the name of the practice was water harvesting. So what was its technique? The technique was water harvesting. So we have seen about water harvesting techniques. Okay, so what is this water harvesting technique? What is the meaning of the word harvesting? As I told you yesterday, that harvesting means to conserve something, to cut something and keep for the future use. So what we are cutting and keeping? We are cutting water and keeping. From where we are cutting? We are cutting it from rain. It could be cut from river. Okay, ocean water is not utilized for the purpose, like domestic purposes, so I'm not mentioning it, but still for salt for salt production it is required. Okay, there are many other processes because of which you can conserve this, even the water from the oceans and the seas, that also has to be conserved. It is not that it is not very important, it is also equally important. But so this water is being conserved. So how is this water being conserved? How is this water being harvested? Let's see. So this water is being harvested, mainly this rainwater is very very important, because of this rainwater the rivers are recharged, the groundwater is recharged. That is why it is considered to be as the important source of groundwater recharging. Okay, now how it is being done, I have given you the point regarding this factor, that how is this groundwater getting recharged. This groundwater is getting recharged because of the process called rainwater harvesting. So this we have studied. So how this rainwater is getting how is this water getting recharged? This is done by rainwater harvesting. Now how it is being done? This is done with the two ways. Yesterday I have discussed about rooftop rainwater harvesting. Today I'll discuss about drain water harvesting. Drain water harvesting. Okay, so what was this rooftop rainwater harvesting? Rooftop rainwater harvesting means it is a technique when when the water is there present at on the rooftop, means when rainfall is happening, then what happens, the water is getting this water is getting conserved. How it is being conserved, it is being collected at the rooftop. Okay, it is being collected at the rooftop. Here this gets collected, then it is made to recharge the well, the underground well which is present, which is attached to it. So with the help of pipelines the water is being collected over here in this well, and this well in turn it is going to recharge the groundwater when the water remains here for some time, so it is directly used in the gardens. And if it is not able, we are not able to use it in the garden directly, it is being filtered and we can take out with the help of a pump again and we could utilize. So now next, what is this drain water harvesting? What is the meaning of the word drain? Drain means the pipes or the network of the pipes which is taking up the dirty water. Okay, now from where is this drain coming and how we can utilize this drain for the harvesting purpose? So we can see that roadsides are there. So we have seen rooftop, now we are left with roads, open space I mean. So when the roads are there, on the roads also rainfall is happening and water is being running on the roads like that only. So we need to conserve this rainwater. So how we can conserve this rainwater? We can conserve this rainwater very easily through the drains. So on the sides of the roads, the drains are made. On the bridges also the drains are made. So these are the drains. Now when rainfall is there, so rainfall is happening. So this is being diverted. The water is being diverted in the drains from different places. Okay. So what happens? So this water which is running from the roads, it enters into the drain. Now once it enters into the drain, then what happens? This is going to run through the drain. And once it is running through the drain, it is diverted in the well or somewhere. Okay. So this is directed underground. This is directed underground with the help of the well. Seep wells are there. Okay, so these wells are going to recharge the groundwater. So this is the concept regarding drain water harvesting, children. Okay, so we have seen about rooftop rainwater harvesting. Even the drain water harvesting is being done where on the roadsides the drains are being made, and then when the drains are there, it is going to, the rainwater is being diverted in these drains and this goes off and this is going to be collected in the wells, or it is being diverted directly in the underground surface. Once it remains there for a longer time, it is going to recharge the groundwater of that particular place. So this is what is about the drain water harvesting. Okay, now many other harvestings of water could be done. We can use we can make the check dams even for collecting the rainwater, so that the large amount of water could be present in that dam, and that dams are utilized for making the electricity. Okay, so this is how we are harvesting the water from longer time period, but still we require some more advanced techniques of these kinds of rainwater harvesting and the water harvesting techniques. And I think that this should be made compulsory in the larger areas, like even in some places in the metro cities where the scarcity of water is already there. Now whenever the new structures, new constructions or the buildings are being made, then rainwater harvesting technique is being utilized over there. So that is that the government of some states have also done this compulsory. I mean this they have made it compulsory for the people, so that they could understand how the water is being utilized and how precious this water is. So the rainwater harvesting technique has to be practiced for the conservation of this precious resource, children. Okay, so this is a very good concept regarding the rainwater conservation. So we can do this even in our homes also. We can practice in the hotel, in the different restaurants and in the hotels also. These practices are being made in the hostels also, somewhere even where even in some places I also know that where the rainwater harvesting technique is being utilized. Fine. So this is how the water harvesting technique helps in the recharging of groundwater. Next, what is it here? What is given in this chapter is this also comes under water management, children. So we were already dealing with this water management. This adds the point over there in this water management. Fine. So this is how we can manage. Next, what is given here? We can see that we have seen that most of the water that we get in the rainfall just flows away. This is very hard to believe, but this is true, that whenever the rainfall is happening, we can see that water is running off and it is wasted like that. Still, it is the fresh water source which has to be conserved in a very proper way. Fine. Now, what has to be done with this technique? So we can see that most of the time the water we get as rainfall just flows away. This is a waste of precious natural resource. The rainwater can be utilized, can be used to recharge the groundwater. This technique is said to be as water harvesting or rainwater harvesting. Here this is being given in the similar form, but still it is different, as I have told you that water harvesting could be done for any water. It could be river water, it could be ocean water, or this could be rainwater. So especially if the term is used for rainwater, then it is said to be as rainwater harvesting. Okay, so this is very much easy to understand, and the definition also you could write. To save the rainwater is said to be as rainwater harvesting. Okay, that is why it is kept here in class 7th again, because this is very important. Okay, now the rainwater harvesting is about we have learned in class 6th also. Find out the buildings in your neighborhood where the water harvesting system is being installed. Okay, now we have at many places in India an old age practice of water storage and water recharge like Bavris. These Bavri was made in a traditional way for collecting of water. Okay, so with the time Babris fell into the disuse and the garbage started piling up in these reservoirs. So this is very sad. And in the past years also, when the kings and the queens were there, they were also knowing the importance of water. But with the advancement and the modernization, we have all left over this concept of collecting rainwater, and all this was actually being not being practiced since long time. But this is really very important to store the water nowadays, because the scarcity of water is so high that if we are not starting this practice, or if we are not conserving this water, then again the scarcity of water would be remaining on the earth's surface, and even in few years the groundwater would be completely exhausted, and then we would not be able to even survive for a few days also. Okay. However, because of the acute water shortage, people of these areas have to rethink. The Bawris are being revived now. So now they know the importance of these Bavris, and also they it has been revived. Revived means the use was over. Now they have been alive again. They are being revived means they are being made into use again. Okay, so they are being cleaned, and the water is being conserved over here. Today the situation is that in spite of scanty rain, these places are managing their water well, water needs very well. Okay, a farmer using water in the field can also use water economically. Maybe you all have heard about drip irrigation. Now, drip irrigation is a technique of watering the plants and making the plants with the narrow tubings which deliver water directly at the base of the plant. Okay, so this is how the drip irrigation is going to help. Now, we have also studied about uh, sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation in the in class 6th, or I think in 7th or in 8th also it is again be there. But here in this 7th class we are studying this water preservation, or this conservation of this water. So how we are going to conserve more water in the different, by the different techniques, by the different practices. So we have to change our agricultural practice. As we have seen that the major reason, one of the biggest reason for the depletion of groundwater was what? The irrigation technique. So for irrigation, we can use new methods. Now, what are these new methods? There are two new methods. First one is this drip irrigation. Okay, one is a drip irrigation, and the next is sprinkler irrigation. Okay, what is this drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, children? So this is very simple thing, that regarding this drip irrigation we can see that what is the meaning of the word drip we should understand first. So these are the two techniques because of which the irrigation could be modernized and we could easily solve the problem of water shortage. So at the places where the water shortage is there, there is scarcity of rain, scanty of rainfall, there is scarcity of water, there is acute shortage of water. We can use these types of irrigation method instead of using the traditional method of taking a water and then we are using it when then we are using it in the form of with the help of buckets and all, or the canal system or different other systems are used for irrigation. But that traditional practice has to be stopped. Why I'm saying that? Because when we are irrigating the fields, then what happens? The water is means the crops are laden with water. Okay, we are going to give lots of water there. Now what happens after some time? The water remains in the crops. Suppose that this is a field and this is having water. Okay, now if the crops are grown here, okay, so this here what happens, the water is fully covered, so this field is fully covered with water for irrigation purpose. Fine, even though although we are making the channels and all, we are making canals and all, but still the water is being filled in the field so that it could be irrigated properly. The water should not, the plant should not die. Now what happens in this condition, if the water is present in the field, this will be evaporated continuously because of the sun's heat. So because of this, here the evaporation rate would be very high. Okay, so this leads to the wastage of water. We don't need the water. The plant is not going to use up all the water which is being given to it for utilization. So what happens? Whatever is being absorbed and rest of the water is being evaporated. So that is the wastage of water. Now, what if we are not utilizing, if we are not giving the water to the plant for, if we are not giving the water to the different plants for 1 or 2 days, then what would happen? This is going to again this is going to be a very problem situation, that the water is not, I mean the plants are not getting water, enough water, they are going to droop down and then finally they are going to die. Now what is this drip irrigation and how this is useful, and why we don't use the traditional method? We should not use actually the traditional method of watering the field and then leaving it for some time for just for evaporation purpose. So what we do, we use this drip irrigation. Now what is this drip irrigation? So it is where we have heard this word drip. Drip we have seen in the hospitals, or regarding whenever the saline is being injected in our body, it goes drop by drop in the body, isn't it? The syringe is being inserted in the hands or somewhere, then the water is dripping down. So I mean the saline or the glucose, which we commonly it is known as, so it is going to drip down. So it drop by drop it is coming inside the body. In the same manner, the water is being dripped, drop by drop water, drop by drop water is being used. Okay. For the drop by drop water is used by the plants. Okay, now how this is being done? As you could see that if fields are there, suppose that this is a field and here the crops are being used. Suppose that this is a crop. Okay, these are the crops. Fine, and this is the root. Now what it is being done? Either sometimes the pipe is running through the upper surface. Okay, there is a pipe which is running here at the base. One water pipe is running. So this pipe is very special kind of pipe. Suppose that this is a pipe and this has hole in the center at some places. Okay, this has hole at places. So what happens when the water is running from here? Some of the water is going to drip down drop by drop from these places. Okay, so this is going to be released. So once this water is running in the pipe, then what happens? Drop by drop this water drips down. Similarly, now this we can see here in the situation in the crop fields, this pipe is running here, and inside this pipe once the pipe is having water in it, now what happens? This water is going to directly be dripped down in each of the roots of the plant. Okay, so this is going to drip down in the roots of the plants directly. So this is how the drip irrigation is being done, children. Now there is one more way by which a drip irrigation could be utilized. So in this manner, the pipes are very close to the underground. It is very close to the ground surface, and this is having a direct connection with the soil, and drop by drop this water is being utilized for in the roots. Okay, it is being utilized in the roots by the roots of the plants, and they are not going to die. But nowadays what is happening, this part, I mean this part which is having the roots underground, now not on the above surface, now underground pipes are being used here. Underground pipes are being used. So directly this has a drip in between. So the drips are being made, and this releases water directly into the soil. So this releases water directly into the soil drop by drop, and this is how the drip irrigation is being used. Two methods are there of drip irrigation. One, this dripping pipe is placed at the upper surface of the plant, and next time, and to make it more economical, to utilize each and every drop of the water, it is utilized underground the water now. Underground in the under the soil, this all these dripping pipes, our network of pipe is being placed, and then we can easily see that this drip irrigation is helpful in utilizing the in the lesser amount of water we can irrigate the complete field. Okay, so I think this might be very easy for you all to understand now. If the field is there, if the crops are grown like this, the crops are here, these are the roots. Okay, suppose that these are the plants which are growing. Fine. So what happens? So these plants, these roots, they are directly going to get water either from the upper surface or they could have the water, the dripping pipe at the lower surface. Both the things are possible. So in this case, both the pipes are there either on the upper surface or on the lower surface. When water runs from this, it is going to drip down. Okay, at some places drop by drop, but still the water was being wasted, because when it was present at the upper surface, some of the extra water was also dripped down if the pipe is left open, but and it was exposed to the sun's heat and this got evaporated. But this technique also has been advanced by putting this water and this pipes underground. So that made it more economical, that made it more water using technique, where this can be easily being utilized. This could easily utilize each and every drop of water, children. And that has given a very basic idea regarding the water conservation, where each and every drop is being utilized, children. Okay, so how it is being utilized, as you could see, that each and every drop is going to give you this is going to help in the utilization of the water underground, because the pipes are present. It is not present above the ground, it is present underground. Okay, now what happens, above the ground also was there in some places, still it is being used, but now this underground network of pipe is being utilized for this drip irrigation. So this was all about drip irrigation. Now the next economical technique is the irrigation technique is the sprinkler method. What is the sprinkler method? So the sprinkler method, and where have you seen this sprinkler? So sprinkler means, what is the sprinkler irrigation? So what is the sprinkler irrigation, children? This sprinkler irrigation is a technique where the water is being sprinkled. Now, how is this water being sprinkled? It is in the form of shower or in the form of raindrops. Very similar in the form of raindrops. Okay, as you could see that one sprinkler is being here, which is a pipe is there, which is going to put the drop by drop. The water is being placed drop by drop. Okay, as you could see in the bathrooms, it is present, the shower is present, and when you switch it on, it is going to throw water on your body, so on your body, drop by drop. So that is how in the field also we will put one shower, and then this is going to we are going to put if we are going to put the shower like this, then what happens, the water would be coming out from in this way. It is going to be in the form of fountains. So the same fountain is being placed in the middle of the field, where it is having one, you could see that this is having one strip like structure, which is completely moving left and right. Okay, so what happens, as this is moving left and right, this turns, the nozzle of this pipe turns around. Okay, sometimes it turns around, or it is going to it moves just left or right. Okay, or it turns completely sometimes. So because of which, what happens, a forceful water is being placed over here, and over a large area of field, the water is being sprinkled in this manner. So this is how the sprinkler irrigation is being made. Sprinkler irrigation is being used for the irrigation purpose. So in this sprinkler method, what happens? We can see in the places like in many places where the gardens are being made. So for irrigating the grass and the small plants which is present in that lawn or in the gardens, we can use this sprinkler method, children. Okay, so the sprinkler method is very much it's a very traditional, even you could say from many number of years we are using this sprinkler method for irrigation purpose. Okay, so what is being done, the sprinkler method is going to sprinkle the water in the form of fountains. Okay, so a large area could be irrigated, large area is irrigated by water shower. Okay, so this water shower is going to help in the irrigation of a larger area, and the drop by drop, each and every plant could get the water very easily, children. So this is what is about the method of irrigation that was the drip irrigation and the sprinkler irrigation technique. Now drip irrigation also is there on the upper surface of the ground. It is being the pipe, the network of pipe is being used. That dripped pipe is being used, but the advancement in this technique also has happened, where the pipe of this dripping is used inside the layers of the soil, so that each and every drop is being utilized, children. So this is how we would irrigate the fields with the use of these modern techniques. Instead of using the canal system and all, we can switch over to these types of new techniques, okay, which are environmental friendly. Even all these are the good practice for you, for us, so that the water scarcity could be eradicated, so that the water scarcity could be removed. Okay, so this was all about the today's topic regarding water management. I'll bring up some more topics which is present in this chapter. Now it is being left in this chapter in the next class. So that's all for today's video, children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.